I was just doing a 7 hour shift, and to me, that's a really long shift. I don't know, how relatively long that is to most people, but, by the end, I was feeling pretty tired. And that's when I was thinking about something. I thought, when I'm 60, maybe 80 years old, somewhere in that range, I'm gonna I'm gonna think back to these days, like even working, and be like, wow, I wish I could be that young and working and, you know, doing that experience again, having my first job and meeting people and talking to people back in the good old days. That's probably what I'm gonna be thinking, at least a little bit. I'm not gonna be one of those people that just is stuck in the past all the time. But if I was given a choice, then yeah, I'd go back to now. And I would not care if I was working or coding or relaxing or watching a movie or anything. It would just be it'd be it's just I'm in a position right now where I'm in good health. I I'm happy. I talk to people, I have fun, and I work, and I have a lot of hope and optimism for the future and all that stuff. And once that's gone and my life has been restricted, I'll think back to the days when, even high school, I'm glad I'm done. I don't want to do that again. But maybe in 60 years, I'll think, wow, those were the good old days when I was in high school. That was fun. That was nice. Because there were some good moments, for sure. It just makes me think that I should enjoy every single second I have right now, even if it feels like work. Because what feels like work now is what you are going to look back on and wish that you could do again when you're older. Your life is very short. You don't have a lot of time to do a lot of stuff. So every single thing that you do, you have to work on finding enjoyment in it. It's really easy to find negativity in basically everything. You can wake up on the wrong side of the bed and just be negative for literally no reason. And I'd say that's a pretty human, pretty easy thing to do. But if you just try to, you specifically look for the best parts of what is happening in this very moment, you can find a lot more things that you'd maybe realize. I mean, especially if you live in a first world country like me. But I was also thinking, 7 hours, I'm sure there are people in the world right now who are just finishing a 14-hour shift right now, and they're just flopping to bed and just like a zombie, actually dying. And they'd be like, a 7 hour shift? Man, please, please, Lord, give me a 7 hour shift. That's what I want. It's so tiny, so much free time. And yeah, I mean, I do get, the morning and the night to do whatever I want, and then I can work. And a lot of the money that I make, I get to keep, which is great. I don't have to spend it all on rent and stuff right now. And, there's a lot of people that they work all day, every day, and they don't even get to take any money, or hardly any money home, because they have to spend it on this and that and the other thing, and rent and food. And I mean, they're wasting money on food. Obviously, they're probably not eating lentils and peanut butter like they should be, like any good, true, cheapskate human should be doing. But they don't get to eat like kings, and they still have to not save up money. That's horrible. But I get to be in a position where I get to save up money, and that's really nice. It's pretty great. But I still I still can't wait for the time when I make money from the internet, from programming, so I don't have to go into a physical job, because that's too much work. Physical job is too much work. But 60 years I'll be like, oh, my back is so hunched over because I coded all the time. I wish I had worked as a minimum wage worker my whole life, because then I could. Actually, I probably won't. I probably won't wish that, but you know. But yeah, I also get to interact with people. That is really great. I can make a positive effect on the world, even if it seems like small or insignificant. Every time you put something out into the world, that is what the world is receiving. The world becomes better or worse depending on what you do. It's not the leaders and the CEOs and the politicians and the generals and the commanders and the bosses that are all moving things in a direction. All they're doing is just saying to move things in a direction. The people underneath, they're the ones actually moving. They're the ones doing stuff. They're the ones who can have positive effects on the world. I mean, of course, a boss or people in charge, they can have an effect on the world. But you, as the one below, you can move in a much more direct way to a better place. And then when I do that, when I move myself in a way that helps the world, I'll look back and say, wow, I helped the world. I won't look back and say, wow, that was so much work, that was so hard. I don't want to do hard work. Whoever looks back in time to hard work and says, oh, I'm disappointed in myself for doing that hard work. That's one of the things that if we were automated away from work, if all we had to do was just eat and play and have fun, you'd never be able to look back and say, wow, I'm really glad that I did that work because it made me a better person, it helped the world, and it gave me something in return that I deserve. I deserve that because I worked, and so I got something for it. And right now, what I'm doing is I work and I get something for it, and it's justice. It's balanced. It's the way the world should be. And so all of that is to say that I should be grateful that I get to work, even if I'm only getting minimum wage, and it's hard work, and I have to work 7 whole hours in a day. Yeah, I should be grateful.